1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Someone had asked me, a subscriber had asked me to do a comparison or a test regarding my EL-8 titanium. And these are the Audeze. I've done an unboxing of these already. I've made a minor modification, which is adding a third-party headband thingy so that this very heavy headphone is a little bit more comfortable. Well, the subscriber asked about whether these things leak sound because they're closed back, but he read somewhere or heard from somebody that these leak sound. That hasn't been my experience that these headphones leak sound. I don't think that is the case. Or if it is the case, it's not perceptible to me, or certainly isn't to the degree that that would worry me in any sense. I mean, if the spectrum is anywhere between a Sennheiser HD 600, 650, 660, all those things, or the full cal EL-8 that you can get on Mousedrop, there's no comparison. Those things will leak sound like a draining tub, whereas these, in comparison, are very much, very, very different. But I wanted to do a test. Now, there's a problem to this test. There's a couple problems. One, I don't have any testing equipment to do a sound leakage test. If you go to ratings.com, rtings.com, I guess they're engineers or there's people who have a lot of equipment available to them, and what they do is they put headphones on blocks and in a quiet room, and then they play music, and they have microphones from various directions taking samples, and so they'll have a distribution regarding how sound leaks, if sound leaks, and at what decibels. Well, I don't have the capacity to do that, nor do I have the interest of doing that, especially if individuals who have much more experience and know-how are already doing it, and it's freely available. It doesn't seem like a worthwhile thing for me to do. I also don't have a microphone, a shotgun microphone, which would be the alternative to all the things that Ratings does. Having a shotgun microphone and using it on, say, a Zoom H5, or even just mounting it on my camera and then doing the test from a given distance with these either on my head or on a block. And you know, blocks are easy to find. I mean, you know, this is it. This is basically what a block is. It's a yoga block. That's all what they use too. So the idea is I'm contemplating getting a shotgun mic and a Zoom H5, but shotgun mics are cheaper to get than a Zoom H5. So we'll see. Certainly would be an implement into all of my tests. But back to this thing. So that was problem one. Problem two is I wanted to start this test off by using these with my desktop amps. So I got the cable, the other cable that I got with this pair of headphones, a used pair of headphones, the ones with their proprietary insert. I love Audeze with their proprietary nonsense. Proprietary insert with a 3.5 millimeter, and the 3.5 millimeter into a 1/4 inch adapter. And I plug these in, and I start playing some music, and music was only coming out the left ear cup. I thought, what the hell? Either these things, either the EL-8s got damaged somehow, or the driver died in the last week, 2 weeks since I used them, or there's something funky going on. And so I checked the equipment, I checked the settings in the app. I didn't know what was going on, so then I plugged in the proprietary, once again, Audeze EL-8 cable into my iPhone, and sound comes out fine on both ear cups. So the problem is the cable for a 3.5 millimeter connection. That simply doesn't work. That's all I can do at this point. There's no way for me to use any other adapter to get the lightning adapter that comes with the EL-8s. They're a cable. Okay, so now I'm rambling. So the EL-8 cable that goes with the lightning adapter, I have no adapter for that adapter, so that I can use it with my desktop amps to do that portion of the test. It simply won't happen. At least not here, not now. So that's the situation. That's problem number 2. However, I can still do a test with respect to using my iPhone. Now, the thing about the EL-8 line is that they are supposed to be, quote, portable, and so being powered from your iPhone or any other similarly spec'd mobile device should give you an idea. Okay, so I will blast the music up to max if I can, and then I will do the recording test. Okay, or the leakage test. So that's the best I can do until I can get a replacement for these cables at a reasonable cost. Not the $90 that Audeze will very likely charge me, if not $150, likely charge me to get a replacement cable. So there's that. Very unfortunate, but stuff happens. Okay, so here's the setup routine. I have my Aston microphone. This is the Aston Origin microphone. Look, I'll give you a shot. This thing here. Very nice microphone. I like the tonality for this microphone, but that's irrelevant to this particular video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the EL-8s on my head. It's connected to my iPhone. Right now, my iPhone is running the SJ8 app so that I can see what's going on, and I can hopefully keep everything within frame. But I do have downloaded songs onto my iPhone from Spotify. Okay? They're high-quality songs as far as we're concerned for this test. And I'm going to put the headphones on, and I'm going to be within, say, 4 inches of this microphone. And I will let you know how I'm cranking up the volume. Then, after that test, I'm going to put the headphones on a block, and I'm going to keep the block next to me. It's going to be, whatever inches away from the microphone and from me. So you will be able to pick it up on the microphone, hopefully, and I'll be able to tell you what I hear on the block. Now, the block isn't a human head, but it's close enough for the purposes of this test. That's the end of it. Now, maybe I should get a ruler? Give me a second. Okay. I have a tape measure. If that makes any difference. So let's just do this thing. This thing's on my head. And you know what? The first thing that I notice when it's on my head is that it closes everything off. It can make you feel claustrophobic. There is not a particularly strong seal around my ear. It sits around my ear for sure. Let me adjust just a little bit. So, ow. These are one of the most uncomfortable headphones that Audeze has created. They sound great, but they're very uncomfortable. They should have just, I don't know what they were thinking. Okay, so I'm going to switch to Spotify. Excuse me. And I have Time Out, Take 5. It's Take 5 from the Dave Brubeck Quartet, classic song. And I'm going to start playing that now. Volume is currently about 80%, estimate. I am about 6.5 inches away from the microphone. Saxophone has come in now. So I'm going to just be quiet and let you hear something. Okay, so now I'm going to move a little bit closer. I'm going to be within an inch of the microphone with the right ear cup closest to the microphone, 1 inch away. I'm going to shift to the left ear cup about an inch away from the microphone. Okay, now I'm going to be about, say, 3 inches from the microphone, facing it. And I'm going to move now about a foot away from the microphone. Okay, so now I'm holding the microphone, I'm holding the headphones in my hand. I haven't altered the volume at all, and they're not enclosed. And obviously I can hear the music because there's nothing in between the ear cups. But I would imagine that if I put it on the block, I'm going to hear even less. So that's what I'm going to do. It's on the block, and the volume has not changed. I'm going to put the headphones, the right ear cup, within 5 inches of the microphone. And I'm going to restart the song. And I'm going to turn up the volume to max. Okay, so the volume is at max now on my iPhone. And it's playing, I think. I think it's playing. I can't hear it. Oh, yes, it is definitely playing. The saxophone came in and I just heard it when I was trying to lift it off the block. So I'm going to pick up the block. I'm going to bring it closer to the microphone. So the microphone may not be picking this up, but I do hear sound leakage at max volume on my iPhone. And the sound leakage is barely noticeable. So what I hear on this block about a foot away from the block, what I hear is the saxophone. And if you've ever heard of this song, Take 5, or what is it? Yeah, Take 5. You know that the sax is prevalent in this song. I mean, that's the enjoyable part, including the drums. But the sax comes in very strong, and so, when it plays, you can hear it. That's the idea. But it's not overwhelming to me sitting outside, this thing on a block, presumably on somebody's head. Now, if somebody's sitting a foot within me, let me rephrase that. If somebody is sitting within a foot of me, no, not within me, that's ridiculous. If somebody's sitting within a foot of me, they will be able to listen to almost any pair of headphones that I have on, whether it's open back, especially if it's open back, or closed back. It will not make much of a difference because in order to keep that noise, that sound level down, there has to be a perfect seal around your ear, which means there has to be an ear cup that is not only thick and padded, but also sits on your head in such a way as to create a very perfect seal. That is not going to happen, especially not in a mass-produced pair of headphones like the EL-8s. So if you're within a foot, yeah, you can hear it, but what are you going to hear? There's nothing here that disturbs me as somebody who's, say, sitting on a couch Will I hear it? Yeah, I'll hear it. Max volume on my iPhone. Now, unfortunately, I can't tell you what it's going to be like on the desktop scenario because of this, bad chord. Not Audeze's fault, the seller's fault, and I should have figured this out. I should have plugged this in when I first got my EL-8s months ago, but I didn't. So now it's on my shoulders. Regardless, if you're at your desk and you have your amp, who cares? Who cares if there's any sound leakage at all? Unless you have somebody sitting right next to you within a foot and they have their own workstation within a foot. I guess that would be somewhat difficult. But I think that there are other issues at that point. If you have somebody who's sharing your cubicle within a foot, then you have other interpersonal problems that you got to deal with beyond hearing a little bit of saxophone on your headphones at max volume. Okay? So for purposes of the EL-8, no, I don't think that the sound leakage is of any significance. Now let's start playing with the test. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to restart, and I know when the saxophone comes in. When the saxophone comes in, that's when I know that there's sound leakage. Before the saxophone comes in, there's a little bit of percussion and drum that is in the song, but until the saxophone comes in, I didn't hear it. I didn't know if the headphones were actually playing. So I'm going to restart, and I'm going to keep it at 50% volume. Okay, now it's at about 50% volume. We are 3 seconds into the song. I don't hear anything. And if I don't hear anything, the microphone's not going to pick anything up. "18 seconds into the song. 20 seconds. Okay, now the saxophone has come in. Yeah, I can hear it. But I'm paying really close attention. Now, if I increase the volume to max, yep, comes in much stronger, obviously. If I take the volume down to about 25%, I am struggling to hear anything other than my dog's breathing behind me on the couch. I can't hear anything. At 25%, I can't hear a thing on these headphones, from these headphones. 50% again, and I'm starting to pick up the sound. I can hear the saxophone. 80%-ish, yes, definitely. Okay, again, within a foot. What if I change the song? What if a song that's not, saxophone heavy? Let's go to my playlist. Let's go to my test playlist. Where is my test playlist? Come on, there it is. And I'm going to play, let's do Dreamer by Charlie XCX. And the volume I'm going to keep at about 50%. The music is playing according to Spotify. 12 seconds in, 13. The music on this song plays immediately. So we are 30 seconds in, just about. I hear nothing at 50% volume. I hear nothing. I'm going to bring this closer to the microphone. And the microphone, I doubt, is going to pick this up because I just now picked it up within about 2 inches of this headphone. And within 2 inches of the headphone, I can hear the vocals, like right here. You see this? You see this? This is how close I am. Like, I would have to be sharing a bed with the person listening to these pair of headphones for me to hear this. So I'm going to push this up to 100%. Yeah, now I can hear it at 100%. Yep, definitely can hear it at 100%. I'm going to bring this closer to the microphone. Okay, at 100%, definitely can hear it. It's less loud than the saxophone, but that's just the difference of the instrument versus the vocals on this song. Let's go to a different song. Don't go away. Let's go to a different song. Oops. Let's go to Angel by Massive Attack, which has a lot of bass. And I'm just going to skip ahead because there's a little bit of buildup. And it was already at 100%, so I'm going to bring this back down to, say, 25% first. I am about 1:50 into the song. I can't hear a thing. So I'm going to increase the volume to 50%. And I hear the drum a little bit at 50%. Now if I go to 100%, yes, I can hear the drum beat and the electric instrument, whatever it is, piano, guitar. And now the song is built up at 2 minutes, 25 seconds. That's when all the instruments come in. I can hear that. And now it's about half an inch from the microphone. It is half an inch from me. When I can hear a song, I can hear something. Back to a foot away from me. And I can hear it. If I put it about 2 feet away from me, yeah, I know that there is a song playing over there. 2 feet away, there's a song playing on that at 100% from my iPhone. If I bring it down to 50%, 2 feet away, yeah, something's playing. Can't tell what. 25%, hear nothing. I hear nothing. Okay, so I could do this all day with a bunch of songs on my playlist, and the result apparently is going to be the same. We've done 3 songs, very similar results, very different type of music. But just to put the cap on the hat, just to put the cap on the worm, I don't know, whatever. Just to put the cap on, all right? Put a cap on. Let's play the Young Pope playlist. Because on Spotify, there is a Young Pope playlist because I like the music of the show. The show itself, hit and miss. I'm going to do All Along the Watchtower instrumental version. 3 seconds in, and it is at 25%. Hear nothing. Again, the headphone is about a foot away from me and the microphone. 25 seconds into the song, hear nothing. Okay, so I'm going to increase to 50% volume. Okay, now the electric guitar came in pretty strong, so I heard an electric guitar do something. I had nothing about anything else that was playing before. And that was at about 40 seconds into the song. Now I'm going to increase to 100%. Yes, now I can hear the song. A foot away. Bring it closer to the microphone, about an inch away, half an inch. And if it's an inch to half an inch from me, I can hear it. Yeah, right. 2 feet away at 100% volume. Yes, music is playing. Back down to 50%. I can't hear it. All right, so that's that. That's 4 songs on the iPhone. What's the end result for me? Here's my impression of it. I don't think that the EL-8s are particularly leaky. I don't think that they're any more leaky than any other pair of headphones that I have. As far as... I cannot think of any pair of headphones that I have that are fundamentally less leaky than the EL-8s. Maybe the Campfire Audio Cascade or the Audeze Sign headphones, but I've changed the pads on both. I have the XL pads on the Cascade. I have Brainwaves big oval pads on the Sign. So it will not be a fair comparison because these are stock pads on the EL-8s. And if there is slightly more isolation in those other headphones in the Cascade and the Signs, then attribute that only to the pad change and nothing else. So ultimately, my impression of this pair of headphones with respect to sound leakage alone is that they are not particularly leaky in the sound department. You have to be within 1 foot of the individual who has these on, and the volume has to be from, so an iPhone or a similarly spec'd device has to be playing at 100% to be able to listen. So those are the criteria: within 1 foot and playing from an iPhone or a similarly spec'd device at 100% volume. That's it. That's the only time I could hear it. Now, 2 feet away, 100% volume, I knew there was a song playing. I was not bothered by it. I knew there was a song playing. Now, this room is it's not, I can't say it's fairly quiet, but it's quiet. There's no distractions, there's no traffic, there's no kids outside, there's no dogs barking, although they could have. Dogs were breathing. That's it. I mean, my computer's fan's not running. I have no other music playing. I have nothing in the microwave or the oven. I don't have the air conditioner on. My neighbors upstairs are not partying. I have nothing going on. This was it. My entire purpose here for the last 15 to 20 minutes, however long this thing is, has been to just sit here and carefully try to listen if there is sound leakage. And I found sound leakage at 100% volume. And then when I put the headphones away 2 feet, I continued to hear sound leakage because I heard it. If you are in an airport, or you are at a train station, or you are in a busy office environment, the chances of somebody actually being able to listen precisely as to what you're listening to is slim. Like I said, the criteria that I've laid out, 1 foot from an iPhone or similar spec, 100%, those all have to fit in order for this sound leakage to happen. When you put in all other ambient sounds that are going to happen in those type of environments, airport, train station, bus station, office, waiting room, I really don't think that these are leaky headphones by any stretch of the imagination. So that was unfortunately the best test I could do at this point. I wish I could have done it with the real cable, but that's okay. I'm going to try to find the real cable, and when I get it, I will try to remind myself to do a second follow-up test to see if there is, in fact, a difference between the power. Because if there's no difference, right? I mean, I was going to do it on the shit Magni, which provides, I think, 3 watts at 32 ohms. I could be wrong. I thought it was 3 watts. Could be less. And then I was going to try it on the Dark Voice, which is very powerful. Who knows? We will never know. That's not true. We'll find out. Anyway, so that's the end of the episode. Hopefully this helps a little bit. My impression is on the block, within a foot, 100% volume, iPhone, I can hear it. But other than that, it didn't affect me whatsoever. I didn't find it that it was a bother. But then again, I was choosing the songs. Okay, so that's the end of that. Thank you very much. Hopefully this was helpful. And if anybody has any ideas regarding tests that they want me to do, reviews they want me to do, please let me know. I really do want to be able to help and provide information that other reviewers don't provide. Message me, put a comment, and I will respond. And if it is possible, if it's feasible for me to do the test, I will do it as quickly as possible. Okay?